Hello everyone, this is Margot at Nomad Bead Merchants. I am doing an extremely quick and dirty little video here to explain how to tie off an elastic bracelet. So what I'm using here is Stretch Magic, which is what's packaged in all of our stretch bracelet kits. This stuff is a little bit stiff, so it's easy to thread through beads. You don't need a needle for it. You can just run it right through without having to worry about that. What I'm going to do here is thread up my large hole bead. That's this fella right here with the great big hole. And what we're going to do is thread that up at the end of the design. Now, this bead is hollow, so you might have to do a little bit of futzing around until the elastic makes it through. There it goes. So what we're going to do here is tie what's called a surgeon's knot. It's a close cousin to a standard square knot. If you're familiar with those, the phrase left over right, right over left might be something you've heard before. That's exactly what we're going to do here. We're going to tie two simple overhand knots right on top of each other. So first knot is just a basic overhand knot, just like you would do to start tying off your shoelaces in the morning. In order to get to a square knot, what we're going to do is tie a second knot right on top of the first, and we're going to make sure that it's going in the opposite direction. So I've done so many of these that it's just kind of reflex now. So what you end up with should be this little fella right here. Do you see how we've got sort of that square shape? You can see that the loops are both underneath on the one side and both on top on the other side. You need to have that balance or it won't tighten down properly. So for a surgeon's knot, all we're going to do here is take one of the free ends of the elastic and run it back through the outside curve of the knot. There we go. So you end up with, looks like it has 2 loops on the inside and 4 on the outside. What we'll do here is you want to make sure that the inside knot is snug. It doesn't have to be crazy snug, but snug enough. And then we're going to tighten down the outside knot. Now, in order to do this, you want to take your time. Take it slow. You can probably just see that the outside loops on this knot are starting to sort of move towards the center. What you need to do here is get a really solid grip on these outside threads and give it a long, steady pull. What I'm going to do is anchor it, and I'll use my thumb to get lots and lots of pressure right there in the center. Notice that I'm taking my time doing this. Your objective is to get to the point where the knot is absolutely collapsed, and you will probably pull on the elastic hard enough to make you think you're going to break it as part of this process. Ideally, when you're done, this is about what you should end up with. See how tiny that little knot is? You want it to be really small. You shouldn't be able to see the structure of the knot at all. What we're going to do here, now this large hole bead is here because it will allow us to hide the knot. We're going to take one of these free ends and run it back through the large hole bead. There we go. Now, if you're using glue, at this point you pause, you stretch the bracelet out on your free hand. You see how that exposes the knot, and then you use a little bit of glue. You want to use a super glue, and you just want to put the tiniest little dot right here, tiny little drop. Once you've done that, what you do is you grab that free end that's running through the large hole bead, and you just pull. You tug that knot over so that it's concealed by the large hole bead. And at this point, you can get in with some small scissors. I just kind of have big ones here, so that's what I'm going to use. And what you're going to do is you put some pressure. I'm pulling on the elastic thread so that it ends up being dragged away from my grip by the scissors. And at that point, whoops, you cut. And the end of the thread should snap back inside the large hole bead, never to be seen again. And there you go. You've now got a finished bracelet. Congratulations.